Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on adding surds. Simplify each of the following by adding like terms. In the first example, we have to add the square root of 3 plus the square root of 3. Now, because the numbers under the square root sign are the same, these two are like terms. So we have 1 the square root of 3 plus 1 the square root of 3. That gives us 2 the square root of 3. Of course, these are 1's outside here, but we don't have to write them in. For the second example, 2 the square root of 5 plus 4 the square root of 5. These are like terms because those two 5's are the same. 2 plus 4 is 6. That gives us 6 the square root of 5. Example 3. 3 the square root of 7 plus 4 the square root of 7 plus 5 the square root of 7. We can see that they're like terms. So 3 plus 4 plus 5 gives you 12. So that's 12 the square root of 7. Now here's an interesting one. The square root of 2 plus the square root of 8. Now at first glance, they don't appear to be like terms because the numbers under the square root sign are different. Okay, so that square root of 2 is there. Now if we remember from previous videos, we can simplify this surd here by breaking it up as the square root of 4 times the square root of 2, because 4 2's are 8. But we know that the square root of 4 is 2. So basically the square root of 8 is actually 2 the square root of 2. Now we have like terms because we have the square root of 2 here and the square root of 2 there. So 1 the square root of 2 plus 2 the square root of 2 is 3 the square root of 2. So we are allowed to add those together now, even though in the beginning it appeared as though we could not do that. Number 5, the square root of 2 plus the square root of 8 plus the square root of 18. You can see that those terms are different, or those numbers. So let's see if we can do some manipulation here. The square root of 2 remains the same, that's a 1 outside. The square root of 8 is 2 the square root of 2, because that's the square root of 4 times the square root of 2, so that gives you 2 the square root of 2. The square root of 18 is 3 the square root of 2, because that's the square root of 9 by the square root of 2, and the square root of 9 is 3. So can you see now we have like terms, all there and there. So we add 1 plus 2 plus 3, and that gives us 6 the square root of 6. Sorry, 6 the square root of 2. My apologies. It has to be the square root of 2. So 6 the square root of 2. Example 6. This looks very interesting, doesn't it? That gives us 1 the square root of 2. Now, over here, the square root of 18, again, is 3 the square root of 2 from here. See that? Square root of 18 is 3 the square root of 2, so we write that there. Okay. Now, the square root of 3, well, that's a 1 there. Now, the square root of 12, we can write the square root of 12 as the square root of 4 times the square root of 3. But we know that the square root of 4 is 2, so that gives us 2 the square root of 3. So here we have two like terms, and here we have two like terms. 1 the square root of 2 plus 3 the square root of 2 gives us 4 the square root of 2, so we've simplified those two. 1 the square root of 3 plus 2 the square root of 3 gives us 3 the square root of 3. So that's been a very interesting video, which has shown us how to simplify surds when they're being added together, and we must make sure that the numbers, as far as possible, under the square root sign are the same.